what matchup. I mean, there's plenty of matchups like that Diddy Kong could be better at than Wolf.
It is potentially a better character, says the tier list.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think about like what specific matchup would Dany struggle with enough that Diddy Kong would really cover that. I don't know. I think that's something that, you know, a future tournament will decide for us.
It's like a player preference thing, too. Or
That's
just
true.
A character preference.
That's
I'm looking at losers. There is some big names out. Ardeo is out. He lost losers round 1. Deathspade's out.
That's crazy.
That's a rough one.
It's so early.
I know. Cypher took them out.
We are getting Dany, JeJaJeJa.
Lombardi is gone. Oh, no. Wilds is on a tear. Took down Lombardi. Took down West. Currently fighting Straw Hat Kid. It's like that one Simpsons meme where it's the guys fighting with the monkeys throwing their money at it. A Cantaloupe took down a Cantaloupe playing all Sheik too. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think that, so he went, I was talking to him. He went to Young Link against Pack Slash, and he said he lost. He said he felt really, really rusty on the character, so I think after that, he was just going to run Sheik.
Okay. Hey, but you got your wish here, it looks like.
I know, I did. I am happy about this. It is very silly to just see Kirby crouch all of the blasters.
Yes, this is what makes this matchup a little bit more difficult than you think it would be for Wolf, because Blaster is just not a move.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
I can't tell if we're button checking or not, but it doesn't look like we are.
This feels like a button check.
It does?
Is it not? Is it not?
I don't know. It looks like they're trading
thinks it's a button check. Production, I don't know if this is a button check. We're not sure. We have no clue. We have no concept of it. It might be. This is how JeJaJeJa plays, though. So
that's a good point.
No, I know. JeJaJeJa, see, JeJaJeJa does play like that. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
And we're in game, ladies and
gentlemen.
It's game
1, ladies and gentlemen. Just started a minute ago.
51% on Dany so far. And if you were kind of looking at the gameplay through that small screen, you would think that Dany is doing a little bit better than he is, and JeJaJeJa has put no damage downrange. Unfortunately, it is Kirby, and that damage comes through very sneaky-like.
Yeah, and Kirby has incredible like grounded normals, where Wolf also has good grounded normals, but you're going to get beaten out by Kirby on every single one of them. It's just a matter of who stays on stage for longer. And JeJaJeJa's not interested in going in the air. Getting air-to-aired by Wolf is like the bread and butter options for Wolf to go with, especially if your opponent has good grounded options. So JeJaJeJa's just staying on the ground and hoping like that he can get something like that, like an up tilt, surprisingly out of shield, which is interesting, but just being able to get an up tilt to force like a combo. Wait for Dany to approach with an aerial, and until then, just stay on the ground.
Yeah, and that is just the safest spot for JeJaJeJa. And there's really no reason, especially with this lead, to walk towards him at all.
No, not at all.
He just says, all right, you can come to me. I'll react. Here's my nair. It's working so far for him. Going to be trying to get back on stage, and this is really where the difficulty with playing Kirby is, since you do get spaced out in a lot of your options if you try to contest it.
Yeah, and you can't do anything, like you can't double jump get up with any option, except for maybe up B. Because forward tilt, like we just saw, is going to eat it.
Yeah, that's just this. He's crouching all the blasters. Sorry, man. An up air is going to be securing the stock here for JeJaJeJa.
Too much jumping.
Too much. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, that's the one move that JeJaJeJa can use to air is up air, because everything else is just such a specific hitbox or used for combo extensions.
Tries to go for, I think, a dash attack. I think maybe a grab. He tried to go for more of an offensive option there. Just going to be getting punished with it.
Yeah.
And we love how JeJaJeJa utilizes the good things that Kirby has, which is the crouch, but also the specific aerials and moves that are going to be putting either his opponent into tech situations at incredibly low percents. Oh, you're
That's
dead.
bad.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, what? So what, did it clang or did it trade on the first one and he just didn't get hit by the trade?
I don't know.
The first hit, it looked like JeJaJeJa did hit him, but it didn't register.
Wolf's back, baby.
Wolf's back. It's the Renaissance.
That's what we like to see. He's just having a little bit difficulty getting in here and pushing the lead, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a common occurrence.
There's another issue here where there's not a lot of really good true kill confirms that you can get off of like a falling nair or off of like a falling fair onto Kirby, just because of how floaty he is and how light he is. Like it's really frustrating. You can kill him pretty early, but not with anything reliable.
Yeah, that's put you in a rough spot here. JeJaJeJa repositioning him a bit off stage. Yes, he is behind in percents, but even now, he's incredibly comfortable. And if you look at the timer, It's just been ran up this entire time.
That was great. I didn't even know that had a spike hitbox at the end.
Right at the end. That's it. It's the only one it has.
Well, that was a great choice from JeJaJeJa then.
See, he's just utilizing everything that he can to make Kirby's kit look good.
Yeah.
Right? He says, I'm only going to use the good things.
And
he doesn't the rest of it.
He doesn't have to mix up any movement. He doesn't have to do anything. Like, Dany has the onus, besides being behind a stock, Dany has the onus to approach and to be slippery because of how big all of Kirby's hitboxes are, especially the grounded ones. Like, he has to mix up his aerial approaches and his grounded approaches. JeJaJeJa doesn't have to do anything. He just has to crouch and stand still and wait until he can hit an up tilt or an up air, and otherwise he's chilling.
He's big chilling here.
Sour F-tilt, again, one of those early options that will kill Kirby at those early percentages, early-ish, you know, for a sour F-tilt, but it just spaces out so well, and it's such a good option to ledge trap with. And to space with, as we saw right there. It'll also catch Kirby, like, jumping in with a short hop, like an up-angled F-tilt.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could do. It's a jack of all trades mood.
Yeah.
Funny anecdote. If you love JeJaJeJa's gameplay, I would recommend going back to the last Riptide and watching the collegiate games, like the crew battles that were going on. I'm not sure if you know the rules for collegiate crews, but it's crew battles. And if JeJaJeJa gets a lead, there is no timer.
Right.
He can just sit there and wait for you to come in. And in a lot of places, he just does the suck off stage with you. I think it was specifically Dice. I think JeJaJeJa had to fight Dice. And incredibly frustrating, I understand. I did incorrectly say that JeJaJeJa, I think he was going actually Northwood. I did incorrectly say that he was going to Michigan State. Because now that I remember this. But yeah, if you love watching people not approaching Kirby, that is exactly the VODs to go search for. And this fair, another expertly spaced fair. But, sorry, once you jump, that back air is going to hit you. Dany is hyped. He's going crazy.
I understand it. This was not a hype game to watch, and I think that's why Dany is all the more hyped to have won that game one with as close as it went. With it being so frustrating and annoying to play that playstyle and play against that playstyle, like it coming down to the wire and then you just getting a hard read to end it is just, it's so like vindicating. It's like, oh, this isn't about who can play lamer, it's about who can actually win with the right option. And Dany did win with the right option. Is that going to be able to continue into future games? I mean, it's another rolling the dice situation that you don't want to have to be in any given moment, but it's sometimes what you have to do just because of how absolutely disturbing Kirby plays.
Optimal Kirby plays, right?
Optimal Kirby, yes, exactly.
And I think we've seen some hype sets from JeJaJeJa. JeJaJeJa can do some very exciting things.
Oh, of course, but this is not a matchup where you can be hyping.
No. And it's not worth it, right? Nobody wins in that scenario if you try, because you're either going to be putting yourself open up to a lot of damage,
right?
Or maybe you'll win the set. But it's just not worth it most of the time. And I actually didn't realize that these two have a history now that JeJaJeJa's been in the Midwest and Dany's been traveling up here. Back to Smash, last time there was a Indiana tournament, it went the way of JeJaJeJa. So Dany did have to fight him. It was 3-1 JeJaJeJa's favor, and so I think a bit of this passion that's coming through with Dany right now is wanting to even up the set count a bit.
I see.
He needs to prove it to himself.
I didn't know they had a set. That's crazy.
I had no clue.
I didn't get that app.
I know. It's a good app. This is a great one. If you guys be spacing that side B just a little bit differently to mix up on stage. See, and this is the problem. You switch up your game plan a little bit, and JeJaJeJa's trying to go for more of a mix-up, but it ends up just getting a hit.
Yeah. Both of these characters are at kill percentages for various reasons. JeJaJeJa's going to try to get Dany off stage for something easier, but otherwise it's just going to fish for probably like up tilts and up airs.
Yeah, he's just...
You can see him trying to space underneath.
That's all he needs. Yeah, and Dany understands. He knows the gameplay here, so he's going to try to just pressure him where he can, forcing JeJaJeJa to make a bad option. And it actually is Dany that makes a bad option.
Yeah.
Blaster in your face can't just get shielded, and he's going to be grabbed and killed right off of it.
I wonder how much of that is him trying to mix up his game plan and force JeJaJeJa to approach versus how much of it is just habitual. Like like pulling out Blaster.
Yeah, I do this all the time, and it doesn't get me punished most of the time. But against you, I hate you.
Right.
That's what he's feeling.
And I also get that it can be a pacing mix-up, and it also is like a good mix-up for JeJaJeJa to have to approach a little bit, like if he wants to make anything happen. But I think it's just too risky against this character.
He did it. He hit him with the Blaster.
He did it. Woo! We're going to do that every time he hits with the Blaster.
You know, normally that's just your GG neutral, but against Kirby, Wolf just doesn't really have a lot of really good neutral options.
No.
I mean, Nair's good, and Fair's good, and all of his moves are good. But
Yeah,
you know
but
what
if
we
they're
say.
approaching aerials, and they're not like particularly safe.
Right.
Unless he does them right at the ground, in which case he can get hit out of shield by Kirby before that with an up tilt or up air or anything like without even having to shield. I mean, and plenty of options.
Some of these kill moves are just Hail Marys as well, right?
Right.
Goes to the back air here. He needs to just hope JeJa's going to jump in that scenario, and he definitely did.
Right.
He'll be taking the stock, but 105% again.
But they're low-risk options, to be clear.
Right,
They're
right.
low-risk options because Kirby can't do anything with his low airspeed trying to approach you in the air. If Kirby's on the ground, you're obviously not going for those Hail Marys, but if he's like in the air, you have a lot more freedom to go for that stuff.
Right, and they don't seem so risky.
Right.
And I've kind of mentioned before about the damage being sneaky with Kirby. 158. I don't know if any of us have been paying attention to how high he's been racked up so far, but it's like 1-2 hit strings. It's things like this. Oh, you're done.
Yeah, that's tough.
That comes through with something we saw previously. It's the Squirtle game plan, right? You're going to be fishing for these tech situations, even at high percents, that are going to just secure a kill for you. Because eventually, enough tech situations, you're going to miss one.
Right.
And that's all they need.
Yeah, so I've seen this before from Dany as well. I want to say at Warehouse Wars last year, he's behind and not approaching, hoping that his opponent will like get impatient, and then he'll have a little bit more freedom to do what he wants to do. But JeJa's not approaching, and Dany's just biding his time because he's got 3 minutes, and he can definitely even it up in that time. He just doesn't have to go for anything risky, and he wants to see if his opponent is willing to go the distance when he doesn't need to. Air slash is just going to catch him in the air there. It's a great option to approach on the ledge with to avoid getting edge guarded. And as a good edge guard option himself, doesn't hit with the spike hitbox, the down air, so Dany is able to recover, get back to stage. Yeah, the air slash is just too safe.
It is just such a safe move here, and Dany's just going to be more and more frustrated. Does hit the back air. That's 2 for 2 stocks taken with back air.
JeJa's in the air. He just throws it out. Again,
yeah, what are we jumping? What are we jumping for?
Exactly. But that's going to take it.
Why are we jumping, Dany? Come on. Why are we jumping?
Yeah.
The other anti-air,
Exactly.
the secret anti-air.
Yeah. I mean, yes, when Kirby jumps and is in the air, you have a lot more freedom to approach, but like you can never be like unsafe or play so cavalier around Kirby. You just have to be so on point with every approaching aerial, because if you're not, you're just going to get destroyed.
It is frame 12, which is a little bit of a slower move than you would think for that.
It was definitely a read more than it was like an out of shield option right there. He saw that Dany was above, and it just got such a big hitbox.
Doesn't hit behind him. Oh,
it doesn't.
man.
You said it doesn't hit behind him?
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Doesn't
wow.
hit down here. That's kind of funny. The sour spot as well.
So then it was specifically used for that purpose then. I mean, he got it the exact...
He knows what he's going for.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious about that up air as well, because you were talking about the up air being a really good option.
The up air, the up air and the up tilt were both like seemingly good options. Yeah, up air.
Frame 8. That's not too bad.
Frame 8. Yeah, it's not terrible, and again, it's still not an out of shield option, but it is like if Wolf is above you, you can kind of call him out.
Well, this is the thing too with Kirby. While people can say what they want about the character, he doesn't have too bad frame data. It's just he doesn't get too much off of the frame data, right? Maybe 50% combo after 6 or 7 inputs, but he does have decent frame data to deal with. It's just when compared to these other, very good characters, suddenly Kirby looks a little lackluster, not being able to kind of compete in the same way. But looks like a phenomenal character when you're off stage getting caught by those spikes.
Yeah, JeJa's figured it out now. I think that this was the game plan that you wanted to look for all along, is when Dany's off stage, be aggressive and otherwise don't be. I think JeJa has been a little bit too afraid to get reversed, not reversaled off stage, but to allow Dany to keep stage positioning, because of this kind of reason right here. You can't get back towards the center of the stage even if you wanted to. Granted, JeJa doesn't have any pressure to, because he's in the lead by a full stock, but we saw how Dany could ledge trap him with the F-tilt very, very easily, and JeJa is now just saying, you know what, it's not worth being scared of the ledge trap. I can get so much more of an advantage by going for an edge guard, and just by the sheer fact that I was able to do that long explanation without anybody taking a percentage, I think is credit to JeJaJeJa's game plan.
Oh, no. And this is exactly what we're afraid of.
That's what I was talking about. He just wants him off stage. But now he's reversed, and JeJaJeJa has to get back to the stage. Again, not an issue because he's up a stock, and Dany is too afraid to ledge trap, because if he gets reversaled off stage, JeJaJeJa's game plan is way simpler.
It's big air quotes with afraid with JeJaJeJa.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's afraid for the clock to not run out, honestly. Oh, almost gets it here. Might as well go for it, especially just like opening JeJaJeJa plays a little bit lazy. And that's kind of the reason that we see Dany not just going in constantly, right? There is like, I'm going to sit back and wait for you to press an option, because JeJaJeJa, for all of the banter of staying back and trying to camp, will press a button eventually, right? And so you can just wait it out. Normally in these sort of camping situations, you should just sit there for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You should be comfortable doing that. But JeJaJeJa does want to play the game a bit more, which, you know, as a viewer myself, I do appreciate. But it is unoptimal. And as we can see, suddenly his lead disappeared.
He did a nair out of shield there, which is a fast option out of shield, but it's like one of the few options that JeJaJeJa has fished for this set that isn't safe. Forward air is going to be safe against Dany's shield. Down tilt is going to be safe against Dany's shield. Not because Kirby's frame data is particularly great. It is for those specific moves, but Wolf has no out-of-shield options that are faster than like frame 10, frame 11.
That's the spot where back air or up smash is going to be hitting behind him. But
rare situation.
Rare situation, just barely. It's a sour spot.
Just to prove you wrong.
I know. It's not going to kill him. But that fair does find it smart. And this is the thing, right? JeJaJeJa constantly running in, but it honestly doesn't really need to. Can still just play it ledge, and I'm not sure if it's like pressure from the viewers, right, to forcing him to go in, or he just feels like he needs to, but you don't, man. You don't need to approach at all. Just let Dany blow off some steam. You are winning here.
I agree with you. I think it's more he got caught up in the moment of wanting to get the kill since Dany's at 160%, but he didn't need to be aggressive, and he can just go for the more safe options like he just did right there. Forcing Dany to approach.
I feel like he's been doing this a little bit the whole last stock when he was ahead, and then I'm afraid that it's going to be a recurring theme here. You don't really need to catch the landing there, man, right? You see what I mean?
That's
like he's still kind of running in. He still wants to get some hits, and I don't know. His previous game plan was so effective, just running down like an entire minute when you were talking. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I don't know if he's not comfortable with the lead or what, but I agree with you. Like, Wolf's approach options aren't particularly fantastic, so there's no reason to be afraid of them.
Especially when you take laser out of the equation, right?
Right.
Oh, no. Are you dead? Are we gaming?
Wow.
There's no way that was pristine DI.
And also, down tilt does not have 100% chance to trip, I don't think. So he just was hoping that it would trip.
It's pretty high.
It's like, yeah, it's definitely above 50%, right?
Yeah.
But he was just hoping that it would trip and then go for the F smash. Because if it didn't trip, I mean, he's just going to get punished.
Right, exactly. But, you know, there's so... It's so hard to punish down tilt. You can do down tilt a few times. And
that's true. You think he reacted to the fact that it tripped? As
no, 100%.
Oh, okay,
yeah, he's going for it. Yeah, he's waiting for the reaction. I only know this because I fought some decent Kirby. Shoutouts to Cam. But yeah, they full on do reactions, because when you're Kirby, you just have to use the things that are available to you.
Which are so few. I mean, your options are not all amazing. Like 60% of them are amazing. Versus Wolf, where every single option has a use case.
Dany's winning. He got the laser.
He got it. He's ahead.
He's ahead. 10%. JeJaJeJa has to approach now.
Yeah. I'm tired of being analytical for this one, y'all. Like, this is an exhausting set.
I love it. This is what we thrive for. I see production has fallen asleep, however.
Yeah. Look, I get it. And Dany, look, to his credit, Dany's one of the most patient players that I've seen play the game. But he has to do something.
He just looks like a spaz in comparison.
That's true.
Like he has to keep pressing buttons.
He looks wild,
Yeah, he is just completely wired in comparison to JeJaJeJa. JeJaJeJa is just cool, calm, and collected, of course. Playing Kirby, unbothered.
Yeah, Dany's just, he's moving around, like you said, like a little bit spastically.
Some stretches, you know, we can really, we've been kind of in the same position for a while. This is good. It's a while. Gives us some time. We need to count the jumps at the end of this, too. Oh, this is kind of an interesting reversal, though, where Dany's been able to sneak a bit of damage, forcing JeJaJeJa to get in, and he goes, you know what? I can platform Cam. I can sit up here, and you have to come in.
This is why I like to watch the set. It's not because I think it's going to be like a hype, a lot of interaction set, but because it's very like mentally strategic. You have to make the right choices, and Wolf has no like reliable ways to approach, so it's just very, very interesting.
He doesn't need to, right? That's like the best thing. Like in this spot, he's just very comfortable just sitting here being like, all right, we vibe.
Although JeJaJa is just walking up, shielding, walking up, crouch, walking up, shielding, until he gets close enough that Dany's afraid. He throws out an unsafe like aerial option, rising or falling, and JeJaJa can punish it. And that's how he's evened it up, and now with the lead.
Yeah, and he is going to be punishing that landing onto the platform.
That was so good timing.
Yep,
yeah.
Very solid. And you saw JeJaJa wanted to mix it up by just going for a little bit higher. But Dany was ready. He said, oh, you're out of options now.
Yeah. Now Dany has the lead and is just going for openings, opportunities, as opposed to forcing anything. That's Dany's wheelhouse.
The thing with Wolf as well is Wolf can just camp. He is very comfortable sitting back, laser camping you.
Right.
And while a lot of these lasers aren't going to connect.
That one is.
Woo! We get a dub there. Put another one on the mark. I think 4? 3, 4 this entire set. Love to see it. But he could just sit back at camp, right? That's kind of the thing, right? So if he wants to turn, like, to reverse the matchup, put it on its head, he'll say, all right, whatever, dude. You can come in.
Yeah, and JeJaJa did even up that stock before Dany could get much out of it. Not because Dany wasn't playing patient, but because JeJaJa got him off stage and forced some really annoying edge guards and ledge traps to follow, and Dany just you can't guess right every time.
No, he certainly can, right? We're not robots.
Right.
But we've racked down 3 minutes so far, and one stock is gone. So.
One stock and not a lot of percent to boot.
No, not a lot going on. Back air finds its mark. Laser's going to miss. Forward tilt's going to miss. Dash attack does hit. It's like we're playing roulette. You throw enough moves out, something's going to be finding its mark here.
Okay. Yeah, they both trade so much damage, and then once one of them gets a bunch of damage and continues to play aggressive, the other one's like, oh, my opening now. And then they just trade it back.
Dude, I love that turnaround from JeJaJa.
Down tilt?
Yeah, or the forward tilt, right?
Forward tilt.
Like, he was on reaction, being like, okay, I'm going to go over here, now forward tilt you because you missed, and he's going to be carefully back airs, and finds a fair himself, goes for it off stage. You're going to die for that one, man.
Very nice. Very, very classic option to recover when you're getting edge guard is to just go for that turnaround Firewolf to ensure that they get sent away from the stage. That's great percentage. Don't over-aggress. So this is the issue, is that whenever either one of them gets an opening, gets an advantage, and gets some like combo damage in, they keep aggressing, and then that just gives their opponent an opening to follow that right up. And right now, Dany is not playing as safe as he maybe could be, and he could lose the stock here.
Well, this is the problem that we saw with JeJaJa, right? Like, ultimately, two incredibly patient players, but something breaks within you.
Yeah.
At a certain point. Something snaps and you go, I need to go in. I'm sick of this.
Yeah, this is definitely Dany's game to lose now, though. That's 77% racked up before losing your stock. And this is what we wanted to see from the first stock that he couldn't quite make happen. But he got one more chance at it, and all he has to do now is trade damage, and then maybe on a lose a stock and then fish for like a kill option. But he does not have to do much right now except for trade.
Yeah, he's going to be trying to put these forward tilts down range, hoping JeJaJa runs into it, but he's going to be pushing a dash attack his own. JeJaJa finds himself on ledge again, not going to be hitting these back airs, and he gets to just kind of run in and get center stage. It's actually fair that takes it.
Wow, yeah. A safe option to use, and if Dany lets go of a shield or jumps into it, it's going to kill at that percent. But this is what Dany kind of wanted to see, though. Rack up 115%. Now you're at that lower percentage where you're not just going to get like destroyed early on unless you get off stage, and you can just fish for back airs.
Play the clock, Dany. We want to see it. We need to see the timeout.
It's only a minute 30. He could.
I know. I haven't cast a timeout in a while. We'd love to see it. This is what you tune in for Afterburner, the hype sets. This is the problem with putting JeJaJa on. He'll always make them go to time.
Down tilt didn't trip there.
No, it didn't.
So he's really reacting. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Because you know that eventually it will. So you'll go to like 2 or 3 of them, and one of them's gonna do it. Because once they trip, right, the forward smash is a pretty easy input.
Right. That's a good point. Oh my god. But Dany's lost the entire lead now. This is so unfortunate. But he gets the up tilt to kill. It is a kill option. It gets about as much knockback as up smash does at a certain percentage because its scaling is crazy. But I did not expect the first time he uses up tilt like the entire game to close out game 4 and allow them to go to game 5.
Hell yeah.
But we're in game 5 now.
Here we are.
Yeah,
game
you guys
5.
have one more game. We have one more chance at a timeout.
I love this. I actually see the thing from Twitch chat it says about JeJaJeJa stealing the lasers. And, you know, I actually think, hear me out.
I wanted it. I wanted it.
Maybe that's the play. That's the Wolf tech, is to just keep stealing it. And you can actually be the one to wall him out because Kirby with a laser, when you give Kirby a gun, it is kind of terrifying, right?
That's true. I mean, it is scary, but do you want to forego the opportunity to get, like, you know, an inhale kill or an inhale, like, turn around, get Wolf off stage? A little bit more guaranteed kill option as opposed to a better neutral option. Clearly, JeJa's not struggling in neutral.
No, and JeJa is the one that wants to get those cheese options. You have to take the lead. Like, to the point, the lead is incredibly important for Kirby's game plan. Oh, I like this. Just gives the fair a little bit of a nudge.
One hit of the fair.
There you go. And we're even again.
Okay. They're trading who's got the lead at any given moment. We're starting the timeout tactics at 6 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Yeah. Oh, doesn't quite do it. Percent off. Oh, no.
Now they're just going for opening.
Dude, you got a whole string you're just going to get hit by. That's 45 onto Dany. If we timed out right now, JeJa would be the winner, man. I don't know.
That's true.
See, that one was the, I'm hoping that this one is going to trip, trying to go for the grab, right, option here.
Oh, this is tough.
I love the spacing.
Oh, he catches him.
You're going to get smacked, man. You got to be careful in those sort of situations. Still has the lead there, but I love the spacing of these forward tilts. JeJa is going to be continuously beating him to death with his boots.
Just gets a back air. Like, that's, I don't think he's tried that yet. Just a back air ledge trap. Dany lazily did a neutral get up.
Now, we need to say JeJa, not approach. This is really where you can just win, right?
57% is not kill percent.
It is game 5. This is where champions are made. Where we go for time and we don't approach. Play optimal Smash Brothers.
Yeah. But he really doesn't want to give Dany like an option to move around, and I think he also wants to pad his lead a little bit more. He doesn't need to.
I know, exactly. I do understand the point of, well, maybe put him up a little bit more percent, but you are dangerously close already to the spot where a single strike hit's already going to kill you, right? And so once you're there, I get kind of running in a bit, but just play the time.
Yeah.
You just got to play the time.
I do like Dany's use of the platforms here, trying to goad JeJa into jumping.
Yes, and it is goading, and it is working too, because JeJa goes, oh, maybe I can get an opening here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Big damage.
Oh, no. We got a full string here from JeJa, all the way up to 90.
Kirby combos.
We love the Kirby combos. They're very silly looking.
Oh, that was such a good little interaction there. The both drifted out before the actual hitbox came in, and then drifted in with JeJa to ensure that he couldn't get traded, and then he gets a back air kill. Suddenly, looking like game 4 again.
It is. It definitely is, although Dany's still way behind.
Yeah.
It just got worse.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can't be right above Kirby. Like, as punishable as that up smash can be, it just covers so much airspace. Are you guys getting tired of us analyzing this yet? Like, clearly all the game plan is whoever gets an opening and then can hold a lead. They're just not playing that way.
Twitch chat is loving this game.
They are?
They are going for it. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I was hoping.
This is a great set. It is. It is a good set. When you're looking at high-level gameplay, to be like, okay, you know, how am I going to approach this? And honestly, this isn't a matchup that we see all that often.
No.
And those VODs are going to be few and far between. So, like, this might be the only Wolf Kirby, although I do think there might be a few just because Wolf's a popular character. But, you know, these high-level VOD for people to kind of see. And this is how you're going to approach the matchup from both sides.
Yeah, you've got, like, the top Kirby rep versus, like, a top 3 Wolf in the nation. So, like, this is the highest level Wolf versus Kirby gameplay you're going to get probably in the world. And this is what the game plan looks like. We can oversimplify all we want. Look at that cheese option right there that he wanted to get. We can oversimplify the game plan all that we want, but ultimately, like, the analytical stuff that we've been talking about this whole set is what they're thinking about. It is the difficult stuff that makes this matchup way more complex than it looks at surface level.
Oh, and here we go. Here we go. GG's laser has now been acquired. Kirby has a gun. Everybody watch out. One laser gets shot. Gonna be a miss. 0 for 1. 1 for 1. It's worth it. It is all paid off.
He's already got as many as Dany's got in the whole set.
3. Oh, 2.
Oh, but he got traded back. I couldn't get it. That was good spacing. vertical spacing.
And I think that specifically here, he goes for the laser now because we're at high percents. He's going to continue to increase this lead. And that forward tilt just close it out. JeJaJeJa advances into top 16, I think. I'd have to look. I think it's top 16. I think he's going to qualifiers.
Wow. Hurts my heart a little bit. I, of course, you know, as an unbiased commentator, I want Dany to win.
Incredibly unbiased, actually.
But great game plan from JeJaJeJa. He played Game 5 the way that he should have played Game 4, just a lot more disciplined. Obviously, he still like fished for openings, and I think that's the complexity that kept Dany guessing. Like, Dany can't just find a free opening because